In this lesson, we'll be looking at the direct editing tools that are available within Mastercam. Currently, if we go to our Solids tab, you'll see that this solid we've created, this one here, has a history that's been populated while we've been adding features to this solid. So we started with the extrude, and then we added some cuts to the holes. We combined these two features together in that boolean. We've added a fillet around these edges here. And if any time we wanted to, we could right click and go into edit parameters and actually change those features. If we ever need to remove the history of this part, we can do so in the Model Prep tab by simply selecting Remove History. It's going to ask what solid we want to remove the history from. I select it, click End Selection, and the history simply disappears. And this is useful because if we want to use any of the Model Prep tools, it will automatically remove the history for us. So for example, now, if we wanted to click on Remove Fillets, it will work because there's no history on this part. Now before we remove fillets, let's go into our Levels Manager and hide level 10 because we don't want to impact that. But now you'll see that we can go over and select, for example, this fillet and this fillet, and back on our Remove Solid Fillets tool, and we're done, we click OK, and those fillets disappear. Now if I hit undo here, you'll notice that it adds the fillets back, but it also adds the entire history back. So we'll have to hit Remove History again. So this was more of a demonstration. Let's hit Remove History, select this, hit End Selection, and now you'll see that the history is gone. So now let's try removing this fillet, because as you can see, there's a bunch of faces here, and we're really not sure how this was created. So if I go into the Remove Fillets command, and I try selecting these, some of them won't even get selected. For example, this one doesn't want to be selected. If I click OK, I get a Parasolid error. This will happen from time to time. If you remember, this wireframe geometry was originally created using a silhouette boundary tool. That silhouette boundary tool is an approximation based on a tolerance. So if these arcs do not fit a perfect circular arc, it won't be defined as a fillet. So the Remove Fillet tool will not remove it. So there's a few ways around this. When you get a situation like this, the easiest thing to do would be to actually draw geometry to cut away the bad material. So we're going to do that now. So we'll start by going back to our Levels Manager and making sure my level 106 is my active level. I'm going to turn off level 101 for a minute. Let's go back to our top view. I'm going to draw a line somewhere around here, like that. My goal is to take this geometry and cut out the solid using this geometry. So let's go to our Trim Entities command, and we'll trim this from here to there, and from there to there. Now if I go back and turn on my level 101 fixture setup, I'm going to take this geometry and extrude out a cut. So I go into the Solids command, click Extrude, select that geometry here that we created, and let's do a cut body in just one direction through all. And we'll click OK. What this did was this removed the geometry that was causing a problem earlier, which is also what we want because, as you recall, we need to make this feature smaller, just a little bit smaller, so it can fit in the hole of the chain guard part, which it will be holding. Now let's use the Modify Fillet command, which is on the Model Prep tool, to change fillets that currently exist. So I want to select this fillet and this fillet, and if you notice, it sees that we have history. The reason we have history, even though we already removed history, is because we added an additional feature right here. So let's hit Remove History again, and we can select this and this fillet over here. Now, what I could have also done is held down the Control key. As you can see from this prompt here, Control click to select all fillet faces with the matching radius. Matter of fact, let's do that. If I hold down the Control key, they both get selected. And I want to modify this to 17. And I'm then going to go into my solids command and add a fillet here and there. Also 17. So now when we look at this feature and how it holds the part in, we'll see that we have a few flats here that can hold the part, and this will be more than sufficient. Now when we machine out this fixture, we may want to cut a little bit into this, because right now this perfectly fits and it's probably not going to fit. So we'll address that in a future lesson when we create toolpaths.